Hello everyone and welcome to my Smite Basic Jungle Guide. So you can see the things that I'm going to cover on screen. I'm going to go over god picks, so what gods you want to be playing. I'm going to go over the starting builds, so what items you want to be buying at the start of the game. And also a basic jungle route up until your first rotation back to the mid camps, which I'll go over with a map on screen as well when we get to that. If you want to skip to any of those particular topics, just click them on screen, it'll take you to the part of the video where they start. But other than that, I'm going to be going into more depth on god builds and those sorts of things in other videos. This is just going to be a basic outline, but anyway, I hope you find it helpful, I hope you enjoy it, and let's get into it. So now we're going to take a look at the gods that you want to be playing. So a load of different gods in the game can jungle effectively, but I'm just going to give you 3 recommendations. The first one is Mercury. He is insanely strong. His strengths are that he has really good chase and secure, like his 3 just allows you to dash into enemies and then throw them back, turn and throw them back towards your teammates so that someone can get the kill. His ultimate also allows you to just completely like build it up and then fly across the lane. Not literally fly, but you literally just go ping across the lane in like a second and catch up with them and can just kill them with it, or once you've caught them, just do whatever, really punch them in the face. He also has great initiation with his 3. You can dash in, get a target out of a tower or something like that, throw it back towards your teammates. He has insane late game once you've built up your crit items, which can be quite expensive, which is why he really comes through in the late game. Once you've got those items, he is so strong. He would just crit and kill things in no time. He's really good at the solo fighting because of that crit and his insane attack speed as well. His weaknesses are that he is really hard to come back with. If you get shut down early and become underleveled, he is not going to reach that late game at the same time as everyone else, so he's going to be really lacking damage, and a Mercury lacking damage is really bad. That sort of leads on to the next weakness, that the fact that he has very little health and he's very squishy. So obviously if you're not dealing the damage and you have not a lot of health, that's just not a really good combination. The next god I would recommend you play is Hunbats. Now he has great team fight with his ultimate. He can either defuse a team fight if it's going badly for your team, or he can initiate with that. That leads on to the next point, that he's a really good initiator. He's really strong early and late game, however he does have a weak mid game, and he's really mana intensive. Like, he just uses an absolute ton of mana. The next god I'd recommend you play is Freya. Now, she's really good at chasing and securing kills. She's a bit different to other junglers because she's a mage. Like, your typical jungler is actually a physical damage dealer, but she is one of the magical junglers, and she has such good chase and secure, as I said, because her 2 is a slow. She has a 3, which is her banish, which puts the enemy up into the air for a short time, which gives your abilities time to come off cooldown so that you can catch up with them and do a load of damage. Her ult also lets her fly up into the air and chase after an enemy while doing damage like that as well. She's great at solo fighting because of her magical lifesteal, which she gains from her passive on every single ability, and her slow and her banish. Her kit is great for 1v1ing. She also has really good sustain because of that lifesteal. Her weaknesses though are that she's very easy to shut down. Like, if she gets under level and shut down, you're not going to be able to do a lot. And she's also reliant on her auto attacks, which is kind of weird for a mage because most mages just have massive AoE circles of death which do an insane burst and take damage, but Freya has to actually aim her auto attacks to get all of her damage off. So that is one weakness. But anyway, these are the 3 junglers that I would recommend that you play. There are obviously other junglers like Serket that do a crap ton of damage as well, but they're more mechanical. Like, you have to be better at doing the combos, better at the positioning, and just loads of different things, which isn't particularly helpful when you're trying to learn jungle. Obviously I'll do another video on more advanced junglers and those sorts of things later on. So the first item you want to be buying when you spawn in is your starter item, and for jungle we're going to be using Bumba's Mask because that gives you 10 true damage on camps, which is damage through protections. It also gives you a plus 10% damage against the camps as well, and it always regenerates part of your health based upon the camp's health, so after you kill it you get some of your health back, and it gives you some MP5 as well. Now, you want to get Hand of the Gods because that does a ton of damage to camps, and early on it will destroy the 2 side minions of the camp instantly. Some people like to get Hand of the Gods level 2, personally I prefer to get level 1, and then go into the boots, as you will see here, because I find that lets me get the Warrior Tabai much earlier on, which gives me a load of power and some extra penetration as well, which really helps to get that early game damage off. And then obviously you want to get a health pot and a mana pot. You're then going to want to make your way to the jungle camp which you're going to be taking first. I'll explain that in the jungle route section next. When you get to it and the minions spawn, you're going to want to use your Hand of the Gods. As I say, it will destroy the 2 side minions. Then use whichever ability you get first. I'll go into that for each god in more detail in a later video. You then just want to auto attack it until it dies, and you will see that I get some health back here from the Bummer's Mask, which is why you get that as your starter item. One of the exceptions to this build is Freya. Because she's a magical damage dealer, you're still going to want to get Bummer's Mask, but instead of the boots, you're going to want to get shoes. They're just the magical equivalent, and then get your Hand of the Gods and your health potion and mana potion as usual. The other exception to this is Thanatos. Now, instead of getting the Bummer's Mask, you're going to want to get Death's Toll. This gives him some extra health to make him slightly less squishy, and also gives him some physical power. The reason you do that instead of getting Bummer's Mask is because he uses some of his health instead of mana. So it's mana and health when he uses ability, so you don't need the MP5 and you don't need the lifesteal as well, because if you remember I told you his 1 gives you crazy lifesteal and his passive helps with that as well. Other than that, it's the same, just get regular hog, boots and a mana pot and a health pot. So now moving on to the routes you're going to want to be taking while jungling. On this side of the map, which is the chaos side, you're going to want to start at your speed buff. The solo laner will help you do this, and then you're going to want to go over to your mana buff and help the solo laner's mana buff, and help them take that. You then want to go onto a lane and help them just farm up and push lane until you're around level 3 or 4. You're then going to want to rotate round to the back camps and then go over to your red buff, which is the attack buff. In high level play, it's common for the mid laner to take that, like you're going to drop it for them and then they will come and take it, but at a lower level I just would not really bother with that. I just take it yourself, unless they specifically come for it and want to take it. You're then going to go to mid camp, so make sure you're ready to go to those around 3 minutes. They spawn in around 3 minutes 20 seconds, and then in 3-minute intervals after that. After you got those, you want to go back to base, spend your gold, regen your mana and health, and then just proceed to get camps as they come up and gank a few lanes, pick up the odd kill here and there. I'll go over ganking in a bit more detail. If you want to invade, go ahead, but make sure that your teammates sort of know what you're doing, just in case the enemy notices you're there and they're like, get off my buff, and punch you in the face, and that wouldn't be very fun. So yeah, just be careful when invading. Use the ward spots if you want to do that. Would be a really good option. That'll allow you to see when the buff is actually up as well, because the last thing you want is to go all the way to the enemy jungle, try and invade, and then figure out that they've already taken their buff. That would really suck. But anyway, on the other side of the map, on the order side, you're going to want to start off at your red buff, your attack buff. You're going to solo that. Now, there is a more advanced strategy which is coming into the meta at the moment, where you start off at mid camps, but I'll go over that in a more advanced video. For now, I would just solo your red buff, then go over to the right mana camp, which is where the solo lane is going to be, help them take their blue buff, and then you're going to go onto lane, same sort of thing, lane until level 3 or 4. Go take your back camps, then go to your speed on the other side of the map, and then go and take mid camps, then back to base, and same thing as the other side. The only difference is the order in which you get the camps. The maps will be in the description of the video for you to download, so if you want to set them up on a second monitor or something like that while you're playing, if that would help you, go ahead. There's loads of tips on there as well if you need those. That's how I learnt jungling. A friend of mine actually drew up a map similar to those. It's not the same, but because the sort of the method of doing things has changed since then. But he drew up a map for me of the method back then, and I basically had that up on my second monitor as I was playing, and that really helped me out. So don't forget that there's going to be a link for my live stream and to download the maps in the description, so make sure you check out those, and I hope you enjoyed the guide. I mean, I hope it was helpful. If it wasn't, let me know how I can improve it in the comments, and I'll be sure to look at those. Feel free to come into my live stream or in the comments below and leave questions and all those sorts of things. If I can't answer it on stream because it's sort of a more complicated thing, I'll make it into a video and upload a full video on it. But obviously if it's just a small thing, I'll try and answer it as best as I can in stream, so be sure to check that out, and I hope it was helpful, and I will see you guys next time.